but only 7% of high schoolers in LA Unified have returned to in-person learning. Including us here at 5 Live. Andy finally came back to in-person learning.
That's right. Robert still should probably go to a little bit more in-person learning.
Saturday school?
Yeah, I'm considering some Saturday school. Thank you. Yeah.
Not just high school, though. 18% of middle schoolers, only 30% of elementary kids are back. Those numbers are less than LAUSD had expected. Is that the word that was supposed to be? Those numbers are then LAUSD.
Are then, yeah. Are then LAUSD had expected. They're less. They thought there were going to be more kids going back to school.
But there are many reasons why.
Yeah. Well, number one, going to school now sounds like absolute hell. For high schoolers, they are basically doing the exact same thing they were doing remotely, but in one classroom all day long. The idea here, of course, is get kids into a safe space where they can keep doing the work and give their parents some much needed time off.
There are more reasons. Some parents the Times spoke to are just not sure that it's safe. Others think the safety measures and isolation is too extreme. It's been a majorly politicized, thank you, Andy.
You can't have trouble with those words.
A majorly politicized.
I don't know how they spell things out in Indiana, but
that's how it was politicized.
There is a debate between teachers' unions and parents. After the pandemic sent kids to school, parents wanted kids back in class. Teachers' union said there were not enough measures in place to keep teachers safe. The district has had to publicly enact extensive safety precautions, safety restrictions, limit interactions with friends, restrict movement, and offer part-time schedules. That's all according to the LA Times.
Superintendent Austin Buettner has also announced a campaign to vaccinate a huge number of students, likely easier now, of course, with today's breaking news that the Pfizer vaccine has been granted emergency use authorization for kids as young as 12. By the way, put it into perspective for you, the school district first closed in-person learning when the pandemic began March 13th, 2020. Wow. You remember that day?
March 13th, 2020. And Larry said, this is going to define your generation.
And we were like, shut up, Larry!
It's just in China. Come on. It's not going to end up here. And here we are, more than a year later. But I got to tell you, I think so many kids are struggling because now that even if they go back, they're expected to know all the things that they learned while they were remote learning for a year. And it's like, I'm sorry, I was half paying attention while playing Fortnite underneath my covers until noon every day. And they're falling behind even when getting back. That's of course anecdotal from what I've heard. But
yeah, I think it's tough. And also, I don't know why you would want to go to school if you had the option to stay home. Some kids don't, right? If you had the option to stay home,
that's a good point.
They said in communities where there were higher income, median incomes, those kids were not going back to school in the same number that kids in lower income communities were going back to school.
Because they're comfortable at home.
Right. In West LA, it's like 4.5% of people going back to LAUSD. And you also got to wonder in those areas how many kids are actually going to LAUSD because there's a lot of private schools, right?
And we hear people like Kevin who are like, I cannot wait to drop my children off for their first day back at school.
Young kids, it makes a lot more sense, but especially if you're a high schooler and the idea is, okay, instead of sitting in my room being on a computer all day, I'm going to go into a socially distant, isolated classroom and be on my computer all day and still do my online classes. Of course you would say, why? Especially this late in the game.
Yeah.
Why don't I just like hang out and do this? School's going to be over, I think, in June, so let's just do this. But I mean, you're right. And the other thing is like, we have no idea. There's so much stuff that has happened now. We have no idea the depth of the loss socially, emotionally, all these things from that this distance has caused for the past year.
So what were you doing in school? Maybe you had a computer class instead of learning. Because I was learning HTML for my MySpace.
Oh, what was I doing
What were you doing instead of the schoolwork?
I wasn't even there.
I was
what we're
saying?
A large. I mean, collectively in this room, I have the least education out of all four of us.
Glenn just said hello.
But
bye.
The only time I ever did well in class was in school, in high school, was when I started doing radio and TV. It was like that was the only thing.
Bobby, Robert, did you guys have your Minecraft, Solitaire?
No, I actually liked the computer class, so I paid attention to that stuff, and there was a lot of animation stuff that we got to do, which I was like super into.
Yeah,
so I always kind of dove pretty deep into that.
That's what I was gonna say too, Bobby. I had an animation art class where it was like computers and like graphic design. I thought it was really into it. What I do remember is when I started that class, that's when vapes first started to be a thing.
Oh my god.
God,
we're
What?
so old.
Kids would start
so old.
vaping in the classroom. They would like do little tricks on the desk and like with the teacher like just
Yeah.
buzzing around and like the teacher would finally
Oh.
catch it, but he wouldn't smell anything. So he was super taken aback by it and like, what's happening?
we
My
had
friend-
like tech
Troy
decks.
Ice.
We had little tech fingerboards. That was our vaping.
My friend said she always loved when kids would pretend they weren't texting and they just look down. She goes, I know you're laughing at your crotch right now. Like that means you're on your phone,
Well,
okay?
Some of us.
Some of us,
didn't
maybe.
have phones in high
But-
school. We were just laughing at our crotches.
Maybe.
Some of us have other people laugh at our
Also a high school experience for some. You know,
Yeah,
who
that's
knows?
true, yeah.
My teacher in a computer science class just wanted us to waste time, I think, because one day he said, you have $1 billion, spend it and put it in Excel. That was like how he taught us Excel.
The $1
And-
billion, is that your time? Is that the
No, he just said you have to find things online,
Oh,
provide the link, and
see, I
expense
see.
it out.
see.
And it took a while, and I think he knew that it would, because that was the whole day. And then, see you tomorrow. That was how we learned Excel. And then I learned how
You- I
much
was
money
gonna-
$1 billion
That's
is.
what
Yeah.
yeah.
Fun, though.
Daydream,
Also-
too. Like,
Yeah.
well, if I had this and I had that.
And you're so good at math now.
I know. I really, learned a lot that
Help-
day.
yeah.
You know.
What I was gonna just say is, arguably, some kids could learn a lot more, not in school, if they really have the grit. The biggest thing is the guidance, and you get lots of guidance from mentors. And if you don't find a mentor, that can really set you back. I'm just saying.
Ty Lopez type.
In my
good.
in my time in school, I was I got good grades, but I definitely wasn't focused as I should have been. And I was in school, and these kids have the opportunity to find something outside of school. I know it's difficult for some kids in lower income communities because like the resources are low. I'm speaking in experience from experience, but they have the opportunity to truly find something when they're not constricted by the boundaries of the walls, of security guards, of teachers who hate their lives. There's just so many things that constrict kids when they're in these schools that are funded by the state.
I
It's
listened to
not
this
always the
podcast
best.
that kind of supports what you're saying. It said a bad teacher can be worse than no teacher. They were talking about the pandemic and all that. And 70% increase in success rate for children who have at least one positive influence or mentor outside of the immediate family.
Yep.
So I think that's a great example.
I think it's also this awful thing that seems to be like self-fulfilling because I went from private school to public schools, and I had a lot of friends. Like my brother went to private school for high school. I went to public school for high school. I
went
just
private to public too.
I just had not as good of teachers, unfortunately, because they just
In
like
private school
in
or in-
public school.
oh, in public
They
school.
just they weren't as good. They had a lot bigger classes, and it's awful. I mean, it's I don't know what it is what it is, but unfortunately, the world works in a way that if you pay for something, sometimes you get a better outcome.
Right.
And it's awful because what you're talking about is like the future of kids and
Right.
and the future people of society. And I go back to what I was saying earlier. It's just like I feel so bad for parents who have kids who are young who dealt with this for the last year, for teachers who just feel like I don't know if I'm really reaching anybody. Kids aren't
Right.
showing up. It's so
Yeah.
much. I didn't ask to be to do seminars every day. This is
I
what
will miss
signed
my
up
friends'
for.
texts about the things that she heard while they didn't realize their microphones
Love
were
that
on.
though. Love.
Those are the fun. Robert, you mentioned outside the home, etc. So what did you're saying you're speaking from experience. So what did you do? What did you get involved in?
Oh,
and,
I'm saying from experience, I didn't have a mentor, and I was for a moment I was just doing dumb things that I should not have been doing. Had I had a mentor, somebody outside of school, because all I had was school. I was going to school, I was getting good grades, I was doing the things, and that proved to no avail. That didn't prove to have a success at the end of that. And
you
so
didn't
had
feel
I,
like you got ahead at all by doing all the right things.
by doing the things that they told me to do.
Oh, interesting.
And so that's why I'm just saying, like, now they have the opportunity to be outside of these walls and to truly expand and not be constricted by what they tell you is the things that you should do. It's not necessarily the things, it's not the conventional way is not always the right way.
How about do all the right things and get a mentor?
Sure.
Maybe that's
sure,
a good
sure.
idea too.
I wish it did. I wish we had an opportunity to take this thing that happened and look back really and say what worked about last year, what didn't work about last year, and let's really make changes. Like you were saying, Robert, that's not going to happen.
No.
No one's going to do that. We're trying to get people back into class as quickly as possible. They're going to do a big mass vaccination thing later this year for students in LAUSD.
And then what though?
And then it's probably going to be. I mean, I don't know, but I'm imagining there may be requirements, and we've seen this in other school districts, where you can't come back to school until you're vaccinated.
Oh yeah, I know people who've already gotten that letter at a school district. But I mean, you have to have your TB shot to go to school.
Yeah, sure.
MMR vaccine.